I'm Jason.
I'm Adam.
And I'm usually Dave from the Digital Soup Podcast.
A proud member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts
At GonnaGeek.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 310 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, May 6th, 2018. I don't have any quippy catchphrase for this after we've done Star Wars Day with May the 4th be with you and Revenge of the 5th. Is this Revenge of the 6th also? I mean, it doesn't really work.
I'm sorry, what episode is this again, Chris?
310.
You heard it right here. Next week, Chris is promising you special guest 311.
Well, I mean, the episode number will be that, so sure. I mean, I can promise that next week there will be a 311 on the show.
There we go.
You heard it here. Musical interlude by 311.
Well,
That's not what he said.
No. Nobody
Chris
said that.
promised.
That's not what he said. That's what Willie said.
I said 311 will be here.
I love putting things in mouse. What can I say?
Yeah, you do.
Ugh.
Yeah, you do. Had to be done.
Fair enough.
Had to be done. That's my one excessive use of the soundboard for this episode. I have finished it in 1 minute and 46 seconds. I cannot use the soundboard for anything but official purposes now.
I believe. He actually believes that.
I'm going to do it. This is a challenge.
Well, he believes it.
This is the
Whether or not he'll
soundboard
do
challenge.
it
I'm
is
in.
different, but he believes it.
So what were we talking about in the pre-show?
What weren't we talking about in the pre-show?
Nothing that we want to talk about on the show.
Well, I mean, we were talking about hairless things, right? Like, taking away hair from body parts.
We were talking about people shaving their eyebrows off.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's a thing that happened in my past that will never fucking happen again. Ever.
I'm scared already.
Now, as you know, I'm a hairy man.
No, really?
And I can't really tell that often, because I got back hair, but I can't ever see it, so it's not my problem. But one time, someone said, "Hey, let's try and take care of that. Here's some Nair. Let me put it on you."
I was hoping you just got stuck to a Velcro wall by your back with no Velcro suit on.
I don't think Velcro works like that.
Let's find out.
And Velcro's only half of it.
It depends how hairy you are. You might be the other half.
Yeah.
What is the other half called? It's Velcro and something, but we all just call it Velcro.
No, it's all Velcro. One half is hooks, one half is loops.
Yep.
But I thought one side of it was called Velcro and the other part, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Something like that.
Nope, it's all called Velcro. But one side of it is hooks and one side of it is loops.
I thought they had like a specific name, not hooks and loops, though.
Well, there might be. There might be like actual technical terms for the two sides.
Anyway, digression. Rhymes with depression. Yeah, so Nair on the back. It burns.
Yeah.
It burns so bad.
Well, it's supposed to. It's killing hair follicles like where they live. Like it's supposed to burn.
That's why you're not supposed to apply it to your private areas. Because
that's why it hurts on the nipples.
I never thought about that because I've never shaved my chest. Well, I did cut it one time. That's a whole nother story.
At one point, I had both my nipples pierced. Before you get your nipples pierced, they have you Nair your nipples.
Ow.
Yeah, 'cause you don't want that hair there regrowing while your skin's trying to heal.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Are you piercing your nipples and shaving?
I did.
How? I don't have hair on my nipples like that. Like they're on the outside of the.
Well, yeah,
areola.
the areolas. Yeah, not the nipple, but yeah.
Well, how small are your areolas? Are they even existent?
Small enough that hair's in the way if it would have been healing.
That is a question I never
mine's
thought we'd
not
have on this show is how small are your areolas?
At least not when Naki wasn't here.
No, it wasn't going to be asked when she was here either.
Yeah,
we did
but
nipple talk with that Naki. She's gonna feel left out.
yeah, but anyway, I took a shower real quick after I start feeling that burn. That burn did not go away.
Did you have to clean out your shower afterwards from all of the hair that fell off?
We were at a hotel shower.
Did it look like you killed a Yeti in the shower?
You ruined a hotel. What a douche! What a douche!
I mean, it wasn't my idea to get it done. So I think we were at Myrtle Beach. So if you Chris, I'm assuming you've been at least to Myrtle Beach.
I was born in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, I knew you were born in South Carolina. I didn't know it was Myrtle Beach. God,
I'm from
really?
Myrtle originally, yeah.
Wow, how are you not trashier than you are?
Well, I only lived in Myrtle for a year.
You're from North Myrtle Beach. Gotcha.
Because he got out.
Yeah, I got out.
No, North Myrtle Beach is not that bad. That's actually a pretty nice area. It's the South Myrtle Beach. That's the trashy.
That's where people put nair on their back in a shower, in the hotel shower, and just leave all the hair in there.
I rinsed it down. I mean, the shower water was going.
The poor maid has to think that someone killed a wolf.
Killed a Yeti or a Wookiee. That's what they thought. They're like, who the fuck killed Chewbacca when they walked in?
Why is there a carpet in the shower? What the fuck?
It's a new feature.
It's the woolly shower.
The Woolly Willy shower.
Oh.
That's so gross.
Oh, because you're thinking of penis.
Yeah, I was
I didn't
afraid you were
think of
making a dick joke.
I wasn't.
That's okay then.
Surprisingly, I wasn't.
I don't believe it. Even when you're not, you still are.
No, I really didn't mean that. I was using my name because it's my hair. My name is Willie, and it was Woolly. But yeah, my back hair is not my problem. It's the maid's problem.
Well, it was. This was years ago, I assume. So what is going to happen the next time you get challenged?
It was last week.
Was it last week?
No. This was with someone who I am no longer with, who is a CUNT. You can probably figure out who I'm talking about.
More than likely.
Bachman's got one.
On to bigger and better things.
Is that my cue to hit the button here? I'm just going to do it.
Wait.
Transition, Chris. Transition.
The ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
Yeah, it took me a while to get it. I see what you did.
This is the most organic transition to news of the week we've ever had, I swear.
I'm just going to start calling for it. Just yelling,
Man.
transition! Transition!
Man, fuck you people in organic fruits and vegetables.
So, like we were saying, this is the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what is, in our minds, the most interesting, geeky, or nerdy news to have popped up in the past week. And I'm not going to start things off. I'm going to say, Willie, why don't you start us off?
Okay. So, not quite yet for the spoilers thing, Chris. You better hold off on that.
I'm holding off. Don't worry.
So, I've been playing through God of War. I can see where people are giving it 10s now. I can see why. I have seen the light.
But playing through or played through? Have you finished?
I have finished it now. I'm just doing like all the collectibles and everything right now. And finishing off like the extra areas. I just finished off Muspelheim. You know, where Suter is. It's the very beginning of Thor Ragnarok. He's just sitting there spinning around. Hold on a second. Suter's there. Well, Suter's not in the game. It's just like a challenge area where you have to go to these areas and you have to click on these swords and different challenges happen. Just finish all that off. Anyway, there was a part in the game where about 2/3 of the way through, you've learned more and more about this giant Tyr, and that he traveled to other lands with other gods. It's actually a part where you actually find a vase where you find yourself on it, the god of Sparta, or you find
Kratos?
Ghost of Sparta. Yeah, on a vase. And it's definitely him because you can definitely see the red tattoo, and then also you see like this tapestry. I forget what they call these things. The Jorntier or something like that. They're like little story panels. They're like 3 little images, and it kind of tells a story on it. And it shows one with Tyr, and it shows 4 different symbols on the outer rims of it. One is of the Omega symbol, as in God of War is always used. So you know that one's from Greece, and then there are 3 other ones. So it's kind of hinting at like we can go to other gods and kill them too in other games. So you got the Eye of Horus up there. So Egyptian gods are that would definitely be fun.
That would be an interesting.
You got the I'm not sure the name of it, but it's like a symbol for Japanese mythology type things over there, and then one also for Celtic. So those are the 4 there on the tapestry. So those are, three of the ideas that they have going on with it, where they could go with it. Since the 4th one was, Sparta, and we already been there. We already killed all those fucking gods. Or Greece. Yeah, Greece. They're in trouble right now.
But this Viking god, then wouldn't he be the 5th? So why wouldn't he be on the tapestry?
Well, I mean, because you're already there. And I'm getting to that. With spoilers coming in, if you don't want to know about God of War spoilers.
That's my cue, I take it.
I guess.
Thanks,
I don't know what you do. I can't see it on my thing. Oh, is it on?
It's on.
Yeah. So there's only really like one god you really fight in God of War, and that's Baldur, the son of Odin, brother of Thor, and he's like the stranger you fight in the very beginning. If you haven't seen that stranger fight, that is a great fight. It's at the very beginning. That's no spoilers for you, but
that's the dude you said tossed you over the house.
Yeah. It looks like a poor man's Conor McGregor, or a trashier Conor McGregor. And someone else has also said that, so I feel validated in saying that.
It wasn't just you.
Yeah, it's like there was someone saying like, "Yeah, you're beating down a poor man's Conor McGregor on top of a dragon. How much badass can you get?" Oh, that was awesome. But so you finally get to the end and you kill him, and I was like surprised, like, how come we didn't get to see Odin or Thor or anybody? That's weird. So after you do that, and you finally, the whole point of the game is you're trying to take the, I'm not sure if it was his wife's. I don't know if he married her or whatever. The mother of Atreus, the son. You're trying to take her ashes, because it starts out with her being dead and burning her. Trying to take her ashes. Her wish was to be thrown on the highest peak of all the lands. And so you go do that, and you finally, after it's all said and done, you can actually go back home to trigger a stinger, because the credits already rolled after you throw off the ashes. On top of that mountain, and you come back down. And so if you go home, there's a little stinger. Since there are some Avengers Easter eggs in the game with a certain gauntlet. The stinger is you go back home, you sit in this rest, boy. You lay down, all of a sudden you're woken up. It says years later, but the boy looks the same age. That's a little weird. Whatever. There's a storming outside, and lightning broke part of the roof. And you grab your axe off the thing. You open the door, and there's just a man over there, lightning going all around him. And you hear Kratos say, "Who are you?" And he's all cloaked and everything, but he pulls away his cloak on his side, and you see Mjolnir.
Mew.
And then it just cuts. So that's going to be the other one where probably continues on into the Norse mythology with Thor and hopefully some Odin, killing some Odin.
Does Thor have Mjolnir? Oh, you said it was Mjolnir. Never mind. I was going to try and make a different joke. I lost it. I suck.
So God of War version Pale has a part 2 coming, is what you're saying?
What'd you call it? Pale?
Version Pale. But Kratos was already damn near white, and he was supposed to be Greek.
Well, no, you don't know.
Now you got a Viking.
Oh, you don't know why he's all white?
No, I played like half of one of those games.
Oh, in the very first game, it explains like he was like very olive skinned, as Greece people would be in the time.
Yeah,
the sun and all that, and being where you're at. No, he accidentally killed his wife and daughter in like a rage, like trying to take over the city. They didn't know his wife and daughter were there. And then some witch of the city like cursed him, and their ashes are now on his skin. That's why he's all white.
Ew, that's gross.
Yeah, his tattoos is showing through it, but that's why he's white. It's the ashes of his dead family that he killed.
Okay, that's creepy.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's a curse.
And I'm going to turn off Are we out of spoilers now, Willie?
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully more fighting Thor in the next one, and hopefully going up and killing some. Let's give some. Let's hope. Yeah, done with spoilers. Let's have him kill some ISIS. Yeah, that's an Egyptian god. So
That's
true.
Figured you were
Very
going the
true.
Egypt route there.
but you know what I did there. That would be a headline, though. Kratos fights ISIS.
Yeah.
It'll be a clickbait article on IGN someday. I'll bet you if they do the Egyptian game.
Freaking IGN and their clickbait. They put something out there that made it seem like a remake of Donkey Kong Country was coming to the Switch.
What was it actually?
I can't remember. I read it, got pissed off, and said the hell with this, and unfollowed them on Twitter.
Fair, I mean,
some crap.
Why do you need a remake of Donkey Kong Country? Just go play the original. It look great even now.
It's still good on the SNES Classic. It's one of the games I play on there.
Yeah, Rare knows what the fuck they're doing. Well, they did
before they got bought by Microsoft. Yeah.
And they just squandered them away.
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
think
we want you to make Connect games. That's what you're gonna be best at.
No, they made Sea of Thieves also. It's pretty looking.
They
at
made
least.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks kind of fun, I guess. I mean, I can't play it, so I can't attest to it. So
That's true. I won't play it because I don't care enough, and I get too many other games to play right now.
And Drasman, that's not spoiling the first God of War game. That's like you find that out halfway through.
That's true.
Actually, I think I still have 1 and 2 for the PS3. I need to go through my stack of games that I'm going to do today.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't played those. Those seem like right up your alley, Bachman.
Oh yeah, I remember I borrowed the first one from my buddy Marvin, and I liked like the button smashing and stuff. But yeah, I didn't play it long enough to beat it. Honestly, I was probably drunk at the time, which is why I don't remember the storyline.
Oh, I guess there was another spoiler I was gonna spoil, but yeah, fuck it. You probably already seen it if you seen anything. You get the Blades of Chaos in this game.
Oh yeah, everyone's heard
halfway
that.
through. Oh my god, that moment. You're like, I know what he's going to get. I know what he's going to get. He can't use his
I did
frost
not know
axe.
that, but that's kind of cool. I figured you had the axe through the whole game.
I mean, you do. I mean,
they
you
set
can
the game up
swing 'em.
like that was your only weapon, that you wouldn't have the Blades of Chaos if you looked at all the trailers and all the interviews and stuff that were done. So there's the moment in the game where you get them from what everyone's saying, like, oh my god, I've got these again. Then you go, oh crap, I've got to level them all up.
Oh, and there is.
You get them and they're newbie.
And I will say this: I'm not ashamed. I have no shame in this. There is some in-game content. I guess you could do it during the game, but it's much better if you get the all the best armor. You have to kill 8 Valkyries that are been forced into physical form, and they're being corrupted doing so. You have to come up to all of them and kill them, and then you have to fight the queen of the Valkyries after you do all that. Yeah, I put it back down to easy mode for that. I'm in the end game. I already beat the game in normal, so I am not even gonna touch true God of War mode. Fuck that, where you can die in 2 hits from the weakest of enemies.
I said that doesn't sound like fun.
I know, I don't need to do that. I mean, in the first God of War, I did the Challenge of the Gods, which is 10 challenges that you have to go beat. And they're all some weird fucking rules of that. And I did that to get all those fucking extra costumes, like the Dairy Bastard, where Kratos is in a cow costume, swinging jugs of milk at enemies instead of the Blades of Chaos.
What?
It's just like an alternate costumes you can get for fun.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
I did that. I think there's one where he's in a suit and he has flaming suitcases or briefcases he's swinging out at people. So, yeah, I did the fucking Challenge of the Gods in that fucking game. You know how hard that shit
I
was?
think once I'm done.
That shit was fucking hard. One of the challenges was you have to fight all these enemies without getting hit once.
Ugh.
Oh my god! Some of these are so fucking ridiculous.
Shit like that is annoying. There's
But
no
I
point
did
in
it.
those.
I've proved myself. I don't need to fucking do it again. I'm fucking 32 years old. I'm just here to have fun. God damn it!
I get that.
Dairy bastard.
Great bastard. All right, so I'll go next.
I wish I could get that costume in this God of War.
So then he could do it all over again.
Viking Milkman.
You goddamn right. I mean, that's why we're like why they say we built up a tolerance for lactose in the original because of the Vikings, right? Isn't that the theory?
I have no idea.
You're the one hearing theories. I don't know what you're talking about.
No idea. Let me go next with my news story.
I
I don't know if you guys had seen, but for Cinco de Cuatro, they did a remixed, recut version of the latest season of Arrested Development on Netflix. Did either of you guys watch Arrested Development, specifically the last season?
I haven't really watched Arrested Development that much at all. So.
I did when they put it up on Netflix, but yeah, it's been a while.
Right. So
I do
one of the
I do remember
complaints
people complain. Yeah.
one of the complaints people had with season 4 is that because they had limited time with some of the actors, they basically would do an episode centered around specific characters at a time. So you might go 2 or 3 episodes before you see one of your favorite characters. And the narrative structure was a little hard to follow at times because they were all very singled on one specific character, for lack of a better term. Well, what they have done now is they have recut the 4th season to present it more traditionally like Arrested Development, where instead of following a single character for an episode, you're following multiple characters. They've kind of stitched it together into a traditional sitcom layout of things, which probably makes a little more sense to people. It's not as weird a narrative structure, and it is available on Netflix now. The interesting thing is they seem to have hidden away, it's still accessible, but hidden on there, the original cut of season 4. So it's almost like they're trying to entice folks into watching the recut of season 4 to be more traditional to the Arrested Development flow of things.
Nice.
And at the same time, they did say season 5 still coming soon. They'll have a release date soon for Arrested Development. So that's kind of exciting.
I did see the Arrested Development cut of Star Wars.
Yes, that was fantastic.
Because Opie Cunningham is fucking talented.
For those that don't know what Anthony's talking about, there's a YouTube show, the Star Wars show, that StarWars.com runs. And they were interviewing Ron Howard talking about Solo, a Star Wars story. And one of the bits they did in that was Ron Howard, who's the narrator in Arrested Development, basically did an Arrested Development style overview of Star Wars A New Hope. It's available on the Star Wars YouTube channel now, just that specific video. If you're a Star Wars fan and an Arrested Development fan, it's pretty damn funny. You should go check it out for yourself.
Well, now that I know that there's a Star Wars show, I have to watch that because it's one of the hosts is the Goot, the chick that did Rebels Recon.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember her first name. Her last name's Gutierrez. Yeah, she's hilarious. I love watching her on that show. So yeah, I'll be watching the Star Wars show now.
Yeah, it's her and Anthony Carboni. They're the hosts.
And what's he from?
He has a podcast called We Have Concerns that I've really enjoyed. Or had. I'm really behind. I'm not sure if it's still live. I think it is. I'm so far behind on all my podcasts, guys.
And this week I thought I want to start a new podcast and call it I Got That Reference.
Yeah.
And make it my Captain America podcast. I got that reference.
Which one would that be?
I don't know yet because I haven't done any episodes. But on
So
each episode, I would get a reference.
So you haven't got the reference yet? Like
Not
they got
yet.
4 ones.
That's why I haven't started the podcast.
Like
I just think it'd be a great name for a podcast, which actually, I don't know, someone might already have it as a name for a podcast. There's so many.
Oh, that seems like it's something that is, for lack of a better term, generic enough you could apply to things outside of comics and more broader topics, so it might be taken.
I don't know. I mean, you know who has ran into this problem before? Our good friend Cody Goff. Game Life Balance.
Why?
Oh, yes, that's how there is Game Life Balance US. But it paid off for us because we brought the Australian Game Life Balance crew in.
What are the odds of that? Of another podcast that he just randomly thought of for naming of Game/Life Balance. Like, what are the odds of that?
The odds are there's too many people with access to the internet and they can all make podcasts.
I mean, everybody in the world? Even a 3-year-old?
Everybody in the world. There are tons of children in undeveloped countries that don't even know what the internet is still.
That's true. Way to bring this down. Damn.
Yeah, way to go.
You brought it up. Acting like everybody's got the internet. Everybody does not have the internet, Willie.
Now that we're all bummed out, Anthony,
Things all go up with me.
Now that we're all bummed out, Anthony, you better have some news to bring the room back.
Yeah, I got some news. Some more probably bad news.
Oh, shit.
Chris, you failed.
If anybody didn't notice this week on what was it? I think it was May 2nd. So that would have been on Wednesday. DC put up a tweet, said the Ultimate DC membership is coming thanks to the DC Universe. And sign up here for updates and exclusive original series and more. And then they had a link and a new logo up for the DC Universe logo. And when you go to the link, what you get is a little banner page that says the Ultimate DC membership is coming. The DC Universe is a first-of-its-kind immersive digital experience designed just for DC fans. One of the many incredible things your membership will include is unlimited access to the following exclusive original series. So this answers a lot of questions about where some of the shows that they've been talking about getting dropped are apparently now going to be. Because the list of shows now includes DC's Titans, only on DC Universe, Swamp Thing, which they just announced this week, Young Justice Outsiders, and a Harley Quinn show, which apparently, from what I'm hearing, is going to be animated. So allegedly, at least one or two of those are going to be animated. The other two are live action, which we've seen like actual on-film shots of the. I can't remember if it's Titans or Young Justice, the ones where they had. I think it's the Titans show that I saw the pics of.
Yeah, the
right
Titan
now
shows what they've showed pictures of, and it didn't look great.
Yeah, the one where Starfire looks awful. Which hopefully they fix that. Yeah,
that's the one where you saw a lot
outfit.
You saw a lot of memes on the internet of them taking pictures of the Titans from the TV show and putting them next to cosplayers and going, "How hard is this?"
Yeah, because it was some of those shots where there was all sorts of people give a whole bunch of theories, but hopefully what we saw is not going to be the finished product on that show because yikes, it looked worse than the Inhumans.
And that's saying something because that's trash.
Yeah, it is. And that was the first thing that Marvel went, no, we're not going to try that again. It's so bad we give up.
Wait, Chris, you watched all the Inhumans?
I watched enough to know I don't need to watch any more of it.
Then you don't know if it's trash. I can tell you it's trash.
All the Inhumans. It's trash.
Fucking
well,
stupid.
no, it's not trash. It's the worst thing Marvel's done, which is still better than a lot of other shit other companies have put out. But that doesn't make it good.
Well, it's definitely better than the Cape.
I knew someone would say it. But so pluses and minuses. We have to hope that this does better than the last thing they called DC Universe. For those that don't remember the online game that was called Infinite Crisis and then changed to DCO and then DC Universe Online, the multiplayer where you played as with superpowers and fought against Brainiac and everybody inside the DC Universe.
What was that first name you called it?
It was originally called Infinite Crisis.
Isn't that the MOBA that they have?
Yeah, I think that's they were going to use that name as well.
Okay.
Well, they were going to use that name as well and change it, and then they went to a different name.
Yeah, sure. You're talking about the MMORPG that's been out since 20.
Yeah, that's pretty much dead. But I think it's still called DC Universe Online. So it's DCO, but things called the DC Universe don't seem to pan out well yet. So hopefully they'll do better with this one. Because honestly, I want to see a Titan show. I want to see fucking Nightwing on TV. Like that would be badass if it's done with the right way. The stuff that I've heard about Swamp Thing is awesome. I'm trying to remember who they said the director that's going to be involved, at least with the pilot. Was it Justin Lin? I can't remember the name that popped up this week, but it was a big name. It was like, oh, okay, that would be something I would want to see. Like it was good news when I saw it. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But so it looks like there's another streaming service coming, which is, of course, what we all need, because every company needs to have their own streaming service. So that way, instead of paying $80 for cable, which we all decided we didn't want, we can pay $140 a month by having 7 different fucking contracts with 19 different companies for their $8, $7, $6, $10 monthly.
The plus on this though is you can cancel these at any time, whereas cable tries to get you into a contract. So you could do similar what people do to juggle Netflix and Hulu right now, which is have Netflix for a couple months to watch the stuff they wanted to, cancel that for a little bit, go to Hulu, catch up on the exclusives there, and just keep bouncing back and forth.
But it looks like there'll be another streaming service coming, and this one looks like it'll be all DC content. So then it'll be a question of if they add in all the other stuff, for back catalog it could be really good, because unlike Marvel, DC has a lot of old school versions of their characters. You could have the entire Wonder Woman series on there. You could have the old Shazam TV show, Captain Marvel, on there. You could have freaking Birds of Prey. Like they have a lot of old
CW's
shows
got
based
those
on
ones still. They're on the CW Seed app, I think.
They might be, but Time Warner has a lot of money. They don't have Disney money, but they got money. They could buy that stuff back. Yeah, nobody has Disney.
Nobody has
I mean,
Disney money.
Time Warner
Disney does.
If they're opening up their own streaming service, they might work a deal with CW to get that stuff back. Because they're going to want, if they have their own streaming service, they're going to want 10 seasons of Smallville on it.
Well, isn't CW owned by Warner anyways, or partially owned?
Yeah, so it might be something where they just say that since it's not on any other streaming service, because they took it all off of Netflix, they might just put it all on their
They put it on
exclusive
Hulu
channel.
now.
Didn't it used to be called the WB?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was WB and UPN joined to be the CW.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it was those two.
That sounds right, because UPN it had its moments.
Yeah, but it's something where I still think they have all the exclusive rights to it. So yeah, I can see if they put up their own streaming service that becomes its own app, the way Netflix is, the way Hulu is. I could see them trying to put all the DC back catalog on there. Which, when you look at it over the since the '60s and stuff, I mean, hell, they might even have the Bang Pang Zoom Batman. Like if they could get the Adam West Batman on there, that would get people to come in and actually buy the subscription. Some people love that old show.
Yeah, this is the same thing everyone's doing now because Disney's doing their own streaming service. They're going to put all the Star Wars and Marvel movies on and all the cartoons and TV shows associated with it. They have an exclusive live-action Star Wars show by Jon Favreau that's going to be on their streaming service. It's crazy. We're in the middle of the streaming service fight, so now it's just a matter of you got to be like, well, what do I want this month? Because you can't watch all the content on all these services. So you're going to have to bounce around between them because I don't know about you guys. I don't want to pay for a service I'm not going to be using.
Okay, here. Sorry, it was James Wan who's going to be the executive producer on Swamp Thing. Like, that has me interested. James Wan makes good stuff. So that's a talented creator. So I would be interested in seeing that Swamp Thing now.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
All right, hold on this.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd pay a monthly fee, but
so if you could,
and then Willie gets
you guys
robot
hear me?
voice and chops out.
We've got you back now, I think, Willie.
oh no,
You're back.
hello.
We hear you. You're good.
You're hearing this sultry voice.
Well, something.
So here's a Netflix category. So here's a Netflix category I want you guys to figure out. Am I in or am I out?
You're
I can't
in.
tell because
You're
you
in.
guys are perfect. All right, so here's the Netflix category I want you guys to figure out. You got Swamp Thing. What was the sequel called? The Return of Swamp Thing?
Yep.
Is that the sequel title was called? All right. Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
What's the category?
Can you guess the... Yeah, what's the category?
Oh, God.
On Netflix, like if you just this category.
I have no idea.
Fun movies.
Movies that have tree sex.
Oh. I can't hit the soundboard anymore either. I have a sad trombone somewhere on there. That's perfect for that.
God, how does Swamp Thing get laid by these supermodels?
It's in the script.
He's giving out pheromones
No, that's not the only thing he's giving out.
and tubers. Big tubers.
I don't know what that means.
Look it up, motherfucker. And
You know what? Sure, I'll do that.
per comics canon, that is how Swamp Thing has had sex before.
Oh.
Hold on a second. I'll look this up. I'll be the guinea pig.
Car over that, Chris.
Do I just look up tubers or tree tubers in particular? What am I looking up?
Tubers. If you just type up tubers, you'll
Gotcha.
find out what tubers are.
And we're gonna let you guys see live on the internet as Willie self-educates himself.
As Willie learns something.
I'm gonna be playing Donkey Kong.
Everybody, turn to your laptops. Turn to your
All right,
devices.
I'll write the
Turn
definition.
away from Willie as he learns things.
I'm not kidding.
Chris is actually playing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's just that little root part of a potato?
Yeah, well,
Willie, please
potatoes are
educate
tubers.
everyone listening too.
Oh. Okay, so he's tatering them. Don't forget my tater tots down there, baby.
Give her the tater.
Oh. There you go. Aren't you glad Willie just self-educated himself live on Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central? All Things Good and Nerdy podcast.
Don't forget the massage of tater tots while you down there. I love it.
So while Willie's reflecting on tater tots here's the
Hold on,
moment.
hold on a second. Hold on. That's canon?
Yes.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
canon.
It's an Alan Moore issue, Rite of Spring. Alan
He
Moore
literally
something
says it?
34. Abby Arcane has sex with Swamp Thing. Let's see, where is it? Because they talk about the tubers being edible and she gets physically sick. Then Abby eats the tuber and she is subjected to a psychedelic experience in which she sees the world as Swamp Thing is able to see it. The allusion to Orpheus and Eridanus is complemented by an echo of the story of Adam and Eve. Both stories contain fruit which offer knowledge.
So she swallowed his seed.
No, she chewed on his tuber and went on a trip. That's right, people. Alan Moore is fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah, I think people already knew that.
He's
crazy
wizard.
good.
Crazy
Yeah,
wizard.
He's crazy good, but he's crazy.
And speaking of things that are crazy good, I'd like to remind you guys that we're part of the Gonna Geek Network. It's pretty much crazy good with 25 plus shows on the network, including some new additions this week, which I was going to promote, but I don't have it in the promo read, so I'll promote it at the end of the show. But we do like to highlight specific shows each week. So, Willie, what show are we talking about this week?
Well, if my phone will agree with me to go to the thing.
Doubtful.
Yeah, it was working. It moved it. As I clicked it, it moved it. It was like, what are you doing here, phone? You got to work with me here. I pre-read it, but I can't remember that shit from memory. Come on now. Oh, shit. I was going to grab mine for this. That's right.
I don't know what that means, and I'm really scared.
No grabbing things, Willie. Just read.
This week, I'm going to talk to you about the official Gonna Geek show. Number 237. Gonna sell Game Gear games. In this week's episode, the crew discusses how there is a resurgence in Game Gear game sales. Check out this and a bunch of other geeky news and this week's episode. I have a few Game Boy or Game Gear games right back there in the bedroom.
I apparently never hang on to a system long enough for it to come back into fashion because I never actually make any money selling them.
Well, that was one of the saddest fucking things in my life was when my Game Gear got ruined because I had it in my book bag. And like any dumb fucking kid like I was, I also had a carton of chocolate milk in there.
What the fuck?
I was a stupid fuck. I'm still a stupid fucking person, but I was even a stupider fucking kid.
I will agree.
That 6 battery muncher, oh, it got ruined. I had Power Rangers. I had Sonic Spinball, which don't fucking get that game. That game sucks. Sonic Spinball. Oh my god, I had some good fucking Game Gear games. Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, a 2-button Mortal Kombat game. Yay.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense. And also, while we're talking about the network here, I did want to welcome the On the Bubble podcast to the network. That's Josh Liston's show. What this show is they talk about television programs that are on the bubble, on the verge of cancellation, and talk about fan campaigns to save them, why they should be saved. The most recent episode discusses a show that never quite made it off the ground, but was rumored and almost greenlit. It was Marvel's Most Wanted, and he refers to the fan campaign to get ABC to release the Marvel's Most Wanted pilot that has been filmed. It's a pretty good show, guys. I really enjoyed it a lot. It's going to be another great addition to the network. Another addition from Australia as well. So, Willie, next time they're in here, feel free to use your Australian accent.
No, don't tell him that.
So would you say you just popped the bubble on the bubble?
No, I would not.
No,
say
he
that.
wouldn't.
I did though.
No. That's not what we're going to do here. So, welcome to the network. We're looking forward to more stuff from you guys, and I will promote you guys next episode probably.
Cool.
You mean I will? I'm sorry.
yeah.
You mean I will?
Oh, damn it.
See what you did, Chris?
International incident coming right up.
My bad.
It is. It is sure bad.
So we did want to take some time here to talk spoilers on Avengers Infinity War. Real quick before we do that, some breaking news that I just saw this morning on Twitter. Shocking and surprising to everyone, I'm sure. Disney's Avengers Infinity War crossed the $1 billion mark in the worldwide box office sales on Saturday. In 11 days, the fastest film in history to break $1 billion. Is anyone
Surprising nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
This is news? I thought this was just this is already gonna have people knew.
Already expected.
It's duh news, but it's still news because
People knew this was gonna happen 2 years ago.
Yes, and more interesting, this is the 6th Marvel film to hit $1 billion in the global box office.
That Disney money.
Yep, and Disney's 17th. So Disney raking in that cash when it comes to that Marvel acquisition. And you know what's really strange is we kind of talked about the Solo Star Wars movie and asking why is it going to happen, and it had the troubled back history and stuff like that. Yeah, Hollywood experts are predicting it to pull in like a $130 to $150 million opening weekend now. Disney's going to make all the cash this summer, guys.
Yeah, but that's what Disney does.
I mean, who else? Mickey Mouse has a very high taste in hookers and cocaine. That needs to be paid somehow.
They take half the box office for the year, and they let all the other little companies argue over the rest.
Including Warner Brothers with their little DC experiment.
Well, I think we talked about it last week. It still really entertains me that in 4 days Infinity War made Batman v Superman money. Or was it Justice League money? I can't remember.
It was Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah. In its first weekend, Avengers Infinity War made more money domestically than Justice League did in its entire theatrical run.
Yeah. And here's one last thing to keep in mind on these worldwide numbers, and then we can start talking about the movie itself. Infinity War hasn't opened in China yet, and it's already made $1 billion worldwide.
Oh wow! So the $700 million doesn't even include China yet.
Yeah, it hasn't opened in China. It's going to open May 11th in China.
Holy fuck! So yeah, it might double. Like it might be the first $3 billion superhero.
I have no idea what it's going to do, but guys, this is your.
We're looking at the second weekend, and it's at 1.1 billion already. It's only week 2. Like that's beyond insane.
Yes, it was. What was the estimate I saw for this weekend? 130 they were expecting for the second weekend box office. I'll check Box Office Mojo here in a second. But guys, consider this your warning right now. Pretty much the rest of this show, Avengers Infinity War spoilers are in effect. I've put...
Hold on a second. How much money did the movie make?
In opening weekend?
Right now,
Right now. Who hasn't seen this goddamn movie is my point.
There's still a fair number of people that haven't.
Yeah.
So
there's still some people that haven't seen it.
Now, that Venn diagram of people who haven't seen it and people who listen to this show, I don't think those are like two rings that are like miles apart here.
Yeah, they shouldn't be crossing. Yeah, for this weekend right now, Box Office Mojo has the estimates for Friday at 31 million, 46 million for Saturday, and another 34 million for Sunday.
Yeah, their estimates for the weekend as of 10 minutes ago was $112.4 million for Infinity War.
Yeah, for weekend 2.
Yes.
Dear God.
That's crazy. So we are spoiler free now. We can spoil away. Someone start this one out. I don't even know where to start, I'll be honest.
I would, but I don't feel too good.
Oh, that one hurt.
No, you have to start with Thanos putting his boot to the Asgardians. Everybody's had their asses whooped, and fucking Loki steps up and tries to fucking be Loki and gank Thanos with a small dagger. He's gonna save the whole universe with one little dagger in his hand, but at least he tried. At least
the sun will shine on us again, brother.
Yeah. So Thor Ragnarok, that movie really panned out, didn't it? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, we already knew that was going to happen.
Half of Asgard's dead. So, of the people that made it off of Asgard, half of them were then killed like the next day when they met up with Thanos. And
yeah, they didn't even get killed with the. They just were like stab, 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 killed.
Yep.
But an interesting note on this one, I think I shared it with you guys in the Hangouts chat, is one of the Russo brothers, I can't remember which one, was doing a Q&A at his old high school, actually, talking about the filmmaking process in Infinity War, and was asked if Valkyrie still lives. And he said Valkyrie is alive. Valkyrie was with the other half of the Asgardians, so we should presumably get Valkyrie in Avengers 4. He was asked about Korg and didn't comment, so I'm going to say this right now. Hey, Russo brothers, if Korg is dead, we're going to riot. Korg's the best. Korg's the
like
best.
that's not good, Doug. Like we want more Doug.
Yeah.
What the
Oh,
hell?
Meek's dead.
No. If Meek's dead, that's what we're talking about here.
But yeah, it did. Some of the death did bring up some questions that I saw online because, like, in the original Guardians, they talk about Gamora being the last of her race, but then in this movie, we see specifically like Thanos on his old school war march, and he half divided the planet and killed half of them, and then he tells her that the rest of her people lived like a much better life after he killed half the population. So at some point later, were they all killed? Because that would be the only way that it fits into the storyline. But then Thanos also said he wants to take out half the population of the known universe. But then you have characters like Groot, who is supposedly the last of his kind. If he eliminates Groot, that's genocide of an entire species. So then that's not Thanos following his own, like, what he said he was doing.
I don't know if there was much logic to the snap. I think it was half, and I don't know that it was a grand plan that came out of Thanos' head to be like, well, I'm going to leave this half alive. Maybe subconsciously he reflected something on that. I don't know.
I mean, that Groot really isn't the original Groot anyway. So
that's Groot's son.
But he's the only Groot. And so if you're saying you're killing if you're killing half the population of the universe and you kill a species, then you didn't take out half. I mean, if you're God and you have all those powers, you got to think shit through, Thanos.
But if you leave one alive, you haven't killed half either. That's the problem.
Hold on
No.
Thanos
split him in
was
half
not-
and then kill one of them.
Thanos wasn't a god. He just had the powers of one.
No, he's a god. With the gauntlet, he's a god.
He's a Titan with the powers of a god.
So without the gems and the gauntlet, he's already a Titan.
Where are the stones? That has to be a fucking callback to Snatch. I swear to God.
Well, of course. Everybody loved that movie. But yeah, this one, it had so much good shit in it. I really enjoyed the crazy ass nanite Tony Stark suit that apparently just responds to thought now. Because like every time things just kept changing instantly as he needed them to change on the suit. And it just looked cool as shit. Though I will say I was mad at two scenes where Banner in the Hulkbuster at the end, his head did not look like it was in the suit, and his head looked way too large. And then the second to last scene of Tom Holland, he looks like his head is not attached to the Iron Spider suit. Like
he had the Green Lantern effect.
Yeah, but I mean, like they made Thanos look perfectly in reality for the entire film. Like there's no point in 2.5 hours where Thanos doesn't look like he's in that reality. He doesn't stick out. There's no bad lighting, nothing. And he's fully CGI. Like there's nothing about him that's real other than Josh Brolin's voice. But Tom Holland, we know, was actually standing there and they just put a suit over what he was wearing. But yet, like, yeah, in the second to last scene, I think it is, he just looked like his suit was like bouncing on it. Like with all the money they were going to make and all the money they put into this, the fact that there was bad CGI at the end of it, just, I find that cringeworthy. Like, this is Marvel. They know what they're doing. Like, this isn't the first rodeo. Like, there's no reason any of the suits should look bad at all.
If there's a couple bad CGI things, there's a couple bad CGI things. It's going to happen from time to time. It didn't take me out of it.
Would mean like a certain mustache?
Yeah, it wasn't like upper lip bad CGI. I'm not saying it was that bad.
Why does Henry Cavill look like Joaquin Phoenix over there?
Digital hair lip. That's true. Yeah, Chris is right. The credits didn't say the Avengers will return because most of the Avengers are dead.
Not the originals.
Well, the only Avenger you really need is Bearded Cap.
And Hawkeye is supposedly alive. Well, I would assume he's alive since we didn't get him at all in the first one.
No, nobody cares about Hawkeye.
But
all the people
probably-
that even say they care about Hawkeye are just lying.
But probably not his family.
That's honestly what I was expecting to have happen. And Ant-Man the Wasp is the next Marvel movie. Supposedly it takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. I'm kind of halfway expecting something to happen in the end of that then ties into Infinity War.
Yeah, leading into the next one, which would make sense. Because yeah, you have someone with PIM particles, and I mean, it looks like from the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer, we're getting Goliath, or at least getting references to Goliath. so we could have another Giant Man. So we could have much more big people added into the next Avengers film. Though I do have to say, I love the fact that the biggest person in Avengers Infinity War was Peter Dinklage. How fucking awesome is it that the smallest guy in Hollywood got to be the largest person in the Avengers?
There's a reason why they weren't telling us who Peter Dinklage was playing in the movie, and they wanted to keep it a secret. Because everyone thought, oh, he's going to be one of the voices of the Obsidian Order or whatever it is. Nope.
I thought he was going to be Pip. I thought he was going to play the teleporting troll that's in part of the Infinity Watch, which in all the Infinity Gauntlet comics in Marvel, that was a character who was through all the miniseries. And so I figured it would make sense if he played Pip. But yeah, like having him as a giant dwarf was one of the coolest things ever. Like having Chris Evans look up to Peter Dinklage, like that's awesome.
Now, what was his name in the? Oh, it doesn't even. God damn, did they even give him a name?
Yeah, he had a name. I just can't remember.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! I just looked him up on the. Tried to look up on cast. What was he in? And then I looked up Avengers Infinity War cast, and there's just a blank under his goddamn name.
Well, maybe because they're not wanting to give it away yet because the movie's still in theaters. It just came out. Not everybody saw it this weekend. I mean, it looks like it from the dollars, but
yes, I do have to agree with
not everybody.
I do have to agree with what Sailor Poland's saying in here. Drax's fascination with Thor was worth the price of admission alone. That was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
and his other scene of I have mastered the art of being nearly invisible.
I'm moving so slow you can't possibly see me.
And you can tell there that James Gunn wrote the dialogue for the Guardians because it felt just like a Guardians movie, and the mannerisms they all had there. Like when,
go ahead.
Like when they're fighting Thanos on Titan, and they're punching him, and Star-Lord punches him, and then turns around, flips him the bird, and jumps through Doctor Strange's portal to get out of the way. I was like, this is perfect. Yeah. This is the Guardians.
Yeah, that's total James Gunn. That isn't something anybody else would have been writing. Yeah, they were fantastic. Which, yeah, the way that they brought in the different characters and apparently all the different directors to reference their characters, like the whole, Kevin Feige and everybody at Marvel just putting things together, it's just fantastic. E3 is what his name is listed at on IMDb.
Yeah, there was a reason I was looking it up. Sailor Poland put it in the chat room too.
Oh, yeah, no. I looked it up, and I was gonna say, I was hoping it was gonna be like the name of one of the dwarfs in God of War, but it is not.
And his little back and forth with Thor was like, if you open that open, you will be taking full force the power of the star. It might kill you, only if I die. Well, yeah, that's what kill you means.
I'm just glad that the sweet rabbit was there with him.
I loved all the rabbit jokes because Rocket doesn't know if he should be offended or complimented. He's like, well, so he's not calling me a raccoon and he's not calling me a trash panda.
I was about to say trash panda was the best.
This is probably better than whatever Quill used to call me. And the guy doesn't seem to be saying it in a mean way, so it's probably better. Like, I love it because Rocket's like, he's not sure if Thor's giving him shit or not.
Yeah, I want a buddy cop movie kind of thing with Thor and Rocket right now. I really enjoyed the way those guys played off of each other. I honestly think that this movie continues to show how much Chris Hemsworth has grown as an actor. The scene between him and Rocket Raccoon where he's pretty much recounting he's lost his father, he's lost his mother, he's lost his brother, he's lost his people, he's lost his hammer. He's pretty much lost everything. And he's trying to put a good face on, and they're having the interaction. And then Rocket's like, well, I got a lot to lose. And then Rocket loses everything. I mean, you're like, oh, that one hurts. That one hurts a little bit. But Hemsworth with Stormbreaker. I love when they come into Wakanda. He uses the Bifrost. It drops him, Groot, and Rocket there. And he's like, bring me Thanos! And just starts wrecking face.
That was some good shit. It's like, wow, you should have lost Mjolnir a while ago because this new hammer is fucking badass.
It can only be wielded by a king.
Does this mean that the handle of it's gone now?
No.
No, because, Groot made that wood and then chopped it off of his arm, so the wood would remain.
It's not as though Groot ceased to exist backwards in time. It's from that point forward. He's an idiot.
It's not X-Men 1. It wasn't done incorrectly. The powers weren't done wrong. Death doesn't rewind time.
I agree, Sailor Paul. I mean,
it erases all things of the being. So I mean, that's.
But if you kill a tree, the wood still lives. That's how trees are.
Live?
Or still is intact, excuse me.
Still exists.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying, though, or asking. It's a
Yeah.
valid question.
And no, that's not how it worked. So the handle would still be there.
You don't have to be dickheads about it.
Yes,
I'm
we
sorry,
do.
Richard
That's what we're
Hat.
here for. We're all Richard Hats. We're all Richard's hats.
And I don't know about you guys, but I think Immigrant Song should have been playing when Thor started wrecking face. That would have been awesome. I know they would never get the rights to do it, but it would have been awesome. And you know,
I mean,
some
they already
fan is
did.
going to recut it to do it.
Yeah, they paid so much money for it the first time that they probably just didn't want to pay that much money again.
Well, and Taika had to. If you watch like some of the behind the scenes and director commentary, he like filmed it and said, "This is what I want to do," and reached out to them and had to pretty much justify. Here's why you should let us do this in a movie, which you've never let people do before. It'd be so cool. I don't know if they'd be able to pull that off twice.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it is the perfect song for all Thor ass kicking.
Ooh. Well, no, they should have had the Duel of the Fates. That would have been nice.
You can't cross the streams.
Yeah, you goddamn right I can. If I have to grab it and forcefully make them cross streams, I will.
Whoa. Let's not have Willie talking about grabbing other stuff. Okay, and then we also had Hulk, who now everybody's talking about PTSD Hulk, which is now the weirdest thing ever.
I mean, I call it Nulk because there's no Hulk.
Look, Hulk's 4 years old. He just got his ass handed to him. He's scared. That's why he's not coming out. Nothing's ever handed the Hulk his ass before.
I don't know if I like that because I don't know if that's ever happened in the comics.
Oh,
and the fact that if Banner's in a life or death situation, Hulk should come out automatically, whether Hulk wants to or not. It should just happen.
Hold on a second. I think I just remembered something too. Isn't this also fucking with the timeline they've already created?
Not yet.
Which one? Which
Well,
timeline?
Didn't Spider-Man: Homecoming take place 8 years after the attack?
They
which was
came out and said that was
2012?
incorrect, actually. Kevin Feige said it should have been 6.
Well, I mean, they fucked. Well, it did say 8. Didn't the movie? Didn't they
The
say
movie
8
said
years?
8, and they came out and said they fucked up. It should have been
Well,
6.
it doesn't matter. I don't care what they fucking say. It's in the goddamn movie. It's canon. It says it right there. 8 years. So that means it's 2012.
When the guy who
close enough.
runs the Marvel Cinematic Universe says we screwed it up, it should be this.
Yeah, when
I was
Kevin
thinking
Feige
about
says
that.
it, when Kevin Feige says it, it counts.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking Kevin Feige.
Now, what made it in the time of Infinity War? Because it's like it's something made it like it was 2018 in the movie. I can't remember what it was though. They say like it's been only a certain amount of years since that happened. 6 years. I remember something said it in 2018.
I don't know.
Oh well, fuck it.
I just hope Thunderbolt Ross got killed in the snap because that guy's a dick.
Yeah. But hopefully,
Yeah.
Liv Tyler lived.
It would be nice if he was one of the people that died. But yeah, like, there was so much good stuff in this movie. The fight sequences were awesome. Freaking the Black Order, Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight, like in Staff fighting with Captain America. Freaking the fights with Okoye and Black Widow. Like there was some really good
Scarlet Witch.
choreographer. Yeah, and the Scarlet Witch showing up eventually. And Okoye going, why the fuck was she hiding up there the whole time? She can do that? What the fuck? Should have been down here fighting.
Well, I thought we had you.
And yeah, we get freaking. They do all that work to save Vision, and then fucking blow up the stone, and then Thanos just goes, "Nope, rewind."
Oh, we knew it as soon as he had the time gem, and we knew something
Yeah.
weird was gonna. We know something weird is going on. Doctor Strange looked at what 14.5 million different futures,
Yeah.
found the one, and he made a point of saying earlier on in the movie he would not give up the time stone to save Tony and to save Peter. His goal is to protect it, and then he gives it up for a reason. So
Saying, yeah, it's the only way.
presumably he's found the one path, and it required what happened to happen to nerf everything.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't he also whoosh?
He
I
did
don't
fade
feel
away.
so good. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I only saw
Yeah,
the one time.
Yeah, so many people fade away at the end of it. It's hard to keep track of who died and who didn't. Because yeah, I thought Star-Lord and Rocket were both left from the Guardians, and everybody's like, "No, it's just Rocket.
It's just
like
Rocket.
the whole fucking team's gone." It's like, holy shit.
And the toughest part on that one, watching it, is both Mantis and Peter know something weird is happening, because Mantis is an empath and can feel like the people vanishing, and presumably, at least the impression they give is that Peter's spider sense is just going crazy as he is getting wiped away from existence. And
and did you guys see that apparently that whole sequence was just him acting?
Yeah, they said you need to die, do a death scene basically, and Tom Holland.
You're gonna die and you don't want to go. Get at it. And that sequence was fucking fantastic. Like that was heartbreaking.
I wish there was like a little scene implanted in where it was Paul Rubens dying in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, I'm sure you could make a recut of it when the film comes out. I don't know if it's just me though, but there's something about English gentlemen saying "I don't want to go" that makes my heart hurt though.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, freaking the fact that and then when Thanos does the snap, we see the gauntlet gets damaged, which is weird because like that never happened in the comics, where it like overloaded the gauntlet somehow. But like then he goes and does exactly what he said. Like he's sitting on a beach sipping Mai Tais. It's like, okay, I did my job, saved the universe. I'm gonna go chill out on a hut.
After he sees Gamora in the Soul Stone, because they also did confirm that the vision of young Gamora is in the Soul Stone.
Okay. I see, and that would fit with the comics too. Because rereading the new Infinity Countdown, Gamora is talking about the fact that she left part of her soul in the Soul Stone, so she's actually a split character in the Marvel Universe right now.
Right, so maybe that's how you get Gamora back. Be it maybe not in this, but Guardians 3, I don't know. Because let's be honest, and almost anyone who died because of the snap, I figure, is coming back in some way, shape, or form. Any deaths prior to that, that's a little tougher.
Yeah, well, and you got to figure Guardians 3 we know is coming. James Gunn's already written it. We know for a fact there is absolutely no way Tom Holland won't be doing another Spider-Man film. Well, and Black Panther made over $1 billion. So we know Chadwick Boseman is not gone. There will be more Black Panther.
Spider-Man Homecoming 2 starts filming in July. We know that Spider-Man's coming back.
Yeah.
And
we know those characters are coming back. It's just a question of who's all back at the end of Avengers 4 and how. And here's my question. Who gets the gauntlet from Thanos and brings them back? Because in the comics, it's Adam Warlock that saves the day, because he's the only one that can basically be trusted in the Marvel Universe to do the right thing with the Infinity Gems. And he's been hinted at in Guardians 2, but he actually hasn't come out of the cocoon yet. So I don't see him being the character that saves the day in Avengers 4 if he doesn't exist in the storyline yet.
I'm not sure how much.
Speaking of returns, who was excited to see Hugo Weaving come back?
That wasn't Hugo Weaving.
It was Hugo Weaving back in the Red Skull mask.
It was Red Skull. It wasn't Hugo, though, was it?
No, it was Ross Marquand.
I know, I'm just making a joke.
From the actor who's in The Walking Dead, who does a lot of celebrity impersonations and stuff on the talk show circuit.
Nice.
Who are they in The Walking Dead?
I can't remember. I stopped watching, so I don't remember his name.
Me too. Is he like a new character? Is he always there from the beginning?
He's the one that brought them to Alexandria. He's the guy that found them on the road and brought them in.
What the fuck is Alexandria? I don't even know.
Okay,
so never mind. Is that the prison? Is that the prison?
No, it's after the prison.
No. That's the walled city.
Oh, is that the one where the governor was governing over?
No, I didn't say the governor's town. I said the walled city.
I don't know what's what. The fucking Walking Dead is boring as shit. You think I'll remember this fucking dumbass show?
Walking Dead is fucking awesome. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sailor Poland said James Gunn says Warlock will not be in Avengers 4. Yeah, so if it's not Warlock, that means at some point one of the other characters has to get the gauntlet and fix the universe.
Wait, who's directing Avengers 4? Is that still the Russo brothers?
It's got to be the Russos.
Yes,
I can't imagine
they filmed them back to back, so it's the Russos that are doing that too.
Well, then who fucking cares what James Gunn has to say? He's not directing the goddamn thing.
Because he wrote Guardians 3 and is on set.
I'm kidding. Calm the fuck down.
Did you see the internet melting down over the fact that Chris Pratt on the set of Guardians 3 talked about saying happy birthday to my co-star? I can't remember the actress name who plays Mantis. It's been so much fun seeing her on set. And everyone's like, oh my god, Chris Pratt spoiled Avengers. They must be alive. I'm like, well, no shit.
Yeah, it's comic books, people. Of course they're still alive.
Oh no, Chris Pratt's there.
Yeah. No shit.
I mean, how come that's not a spoiler of itself? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, Chris Pratt's not dead, but I saw Avengers. Aren't all the Guardians dead?
Not Rocket.
Yeah, people are nuts. Of course they're coming back. It's a comic book based movie.
Yeah, that's one of the complaints I sort of understand, but you have to realize it's comics. We're like, well, it's really hard to have these death scenes and be expected to take them seriously when I know these guys have more movies coming up. I'm like, it's a fucking comic, guys. Did you ever read a comic growing up? These things happen. You read a comic and I go, oh, Spider-Man's dead. Well, that won't last for long.
Well, then, yeah, I saw some serious backlash because there was a New York Times article where their crappy-ass film critic said, Avengers Infinity War shows all these characters, doesn't introduce any of them, and gives you no backstory. Fuck you. You're 10 years in. It's the 18th film, and it's literally the first comic book film based on a summer blockbuster crossover event that Marvel Comics did 20 years ago. It's an event comic. It's not even a comic. It's an event comic. Event comics don't explain a fucking thing about your characters. They introduce a new thing that all the characters come together to fight. That's what event comics are. And it's awesome because this is how far we've gotten into the comic book world, is we're now getting events turned into films. Yeah, these films aren't here to tell you who the Guardians are, to tell you who Thor is. This is to tell you who Thanos is and how these people are going to try to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Infinity War is the story of Thanos.
Yeah.
These guys are just in it with him. If you go and look at the screen time breakdowns, and I can't find it, I saw it on the Marvel Studios subreddit. They listed out all of the main characters on screen time, and Thanos by far has the most, followed up by like Thor, Iron Man, and I can't remember what the other one was.
Probably Doctor Strange.
Might have been Doctor Strange. I can't remember.
He's up there.
But Thanos by far had the most screen time because this is the story of Thanos getting the gems, Thanos resetting everything. Now, I kind of wish that it was similar to what you had in the comics, which is Thanos is courting death versus Thanos trying to bring balance to the universe. Because, like Sailor Poland mentioned in the chat room, the easiest thing he could have done is snap his fingers and just make more resources.
Yeah, but have you reread the Infinity Gauntlet?
Not lately.
They had it on Comixology for $4. I don't know if it's still on sale, but if it is, it's worth picking up to reread because it so would not be published now. The whole time of him courting death, he basically seems like a guy who had asked a chick out on a date. She said no. And then as a creepy stalker, he decides he will not give up. It's literally like the worst rejected male story ever if you reread the original Infinity Gauntlet. It's awful. Like, it's really awful the way Thanos' character is portrayed because, yeah, he at one point he's so angry that death won't date him that he creates his own perfect version of a woman named Taraxia that looks like a female version of Thanos. And moments after creating her, basically starts ignoring her. He creates a female that's perfect and will do and say everything he wants, and then he starts ignoring her and keeps trying to get Death's attention. He's the world's creepiest spurn stalker. Like, I'm actually really glad they didn't go that way because I don't know if they could have made a good story out of it.
I think they could have handled it appropriately because, look, for the most part, when it comes to the MCU stuff, they have gotten away from the troublesome aspects of a lot of the characters that you would bring in.
And some of the old school 60s dialogue. Iron Man at no point has told Captain America that he needs some solid straight dick.
He needs some solid dick from an Iron Man, yeah.
Some of them old comics are just crazy. Though I'll tell you, I would be happy as hell to see Chris Evans turn into a werewolf. Werewolf Cap is still one of the coolest things ever. Especially when he still had the mask on.
Yeah. So, looking at the time, we do need to start wrapping things up.
1 second. I'm just waiting for when they start doing the what if movies.
That would be cool. I think I could see that as animated stuff. That'd be really neat, but who knows?
That's an animated series they should do. Yeah, they should definitely do an animated series of the what if films.
So, guys, we do need to wrap things up real quick. Final thoughts on Avengers before we start closing out the show. Go.
Watch it. Done.
Totally
wait, you've already seen it.
Yeah, most of you have probably seen it. But yeah, see it again. I'll be going again this week as soon as my movie pass shows up. But yeah, friggin' 18 films in 10 years. Like, they totally earned it, and I love the fact that it doesn't feel like an almost 3-hour film. It felt like a 90-minute movie. Like, it was quick. The pacing is fantastic. They bounce back and forth between fight scenes and comedy. Keep you entertained the whole time. Just fucking damn good work by the Russos.
It is a fun ride. It is a spectacle. I don't know that if we'll ever see something quite like it again. And just because 10 years
Until
of build-up
next year.
and something that was impossible to do... Even next year, I think, isn't going to be quite the same because it's not the same feeling. They've already done it once, the epic team-up. This is just the follow-up to it. And let's be honest.
That's true.
Infinity War 1 or 3, Avengers 3 and 4 are basically one giant movie. That's something that some people need to get into their head here. Is like, well, I don't like how this movie ended. I'm like, it's not really the end of the movie. This is a year-long intermission, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's Empire Strikes Back. The bad guys win at the end of this part of the story, so we get more story.
Right.
And and the stinger, we get Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers is on her way. Nick Fury had enough time to call her. So
I remember.
Where was she at?
Space would be my guess.
We'll find out in March 2019. March 2019, her
Space
movie
is the
comes out.
place.
We'll find out why she's in space.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out where she is in the 90s, and then maybe by the end of it, we'll find out where she is in 2018. Because apparently it's going to be shoulder pads and big hair, Brie Larson. And I can't wait.
Is Ant-Man and the Wasp the only other Marvel movie coming out this year?
This year, yes.
Marvel Studios, yes. Marvel, no. Deadpool is coming.
Well, you know what I meant.
I'm saying that it's a Marvel film, but it's not
in.
Yeah,
It's
not tied in yet.
There are 2 more Marvel Studios films between Infinity War, Avengers 3 and Avengers 4. You have Ant-Man and the Wasp in July, and then in March you have Captain Marvel. So that basically sets up Captain Marvel to appear in Avengers 4. And remember, the Russos or Kevin Feige, I can't remember which, or maybe even both, have said that Captain Marvel is going to be the most powerful hero, most powerful character in the MCU.
Yeah, they're going to make her the female Superman.
She's going to come in and wreck face. And let's be honest, King Thor is pretty goddamn powerful right now. It's going to be pretty cool to see her on that power level, that she's more powerful than King Thor, who is arguably now the strongest Avenger, not the Hulk.
The real question is will she come into a soundtrack by Clash at Demon Head?
I don't know. Probably not, because they can't afford it.
I bet they can afford it, because I bet the creator of Scott Pilgrim would sell it to him cheap just to get it in the movie.
Who knows? Who knows on that one? But that will wrap up our discussion on Infinity War right now. When Naki's here next week, assuming she's feeling better, we'll probably give her the opportunity as well to give her thoughts on Infinity War. But just like Willie said, if you haven't seen it, go and see it. It's a fun ride. It's a spectacle I'm not sure that we'll ever see again. And arguably, I used to think that The Lord of the Rings was one of the biggest cinematic achievements to try and put all that together and film all of that. I think the 10 years of the MCU might outweigh that now.
But yeah, you got to figure out, first Avengers was the first time you actually saw a collection of heroes from comic book movies come together. And then the Russos did basically Infinity War Light with Civil War, where we got 2 giant teams of heroes fighting at the same time. And then, they cranked it up and said, okay, we're going to put like 40 heroes on screen at once, but we're going to do it smart and break them up into like 3 different teams so they're not all on screen at the same time, because that's just too fucking much.
Yeah, can you imagine if you were a new fan, and spoilers are now no longer fair game, but if you're a relatively new fan and your first experience was like Infinity War, and like, I've got to watch the rest of this, and you start watching them and you get to Civil War and you're like, oh, that's cute. There's only like 10 of them on screen. Can you remember what it was like for us when they showed the trailers and when Civil War came out? We're like, holy shit, I can't believe we got all these guys in one movie together. I can't believe they brought Spider-Man in. It's mind-blowing how in 2 years, how much that's evolved, how much they've shifted the game.
Yeah, because that was huge. That was huge when they did
incredible.
That. Yeah, so literally that. Marvel keeps taking the bar and raising it. And so far, no other company has come close to even competing, so... It's awesome to see them keep doing what they're doing, and I hope they keep it up for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you guys seen this controversy, though? Someone I forget who put the tweet out. It's probably not even worth mentioning the person. They said they had 400 characters on screen and not one gay or lesbian characters on there. What? What? Why? Why is this a thing?
Because people have to bitch because it's the internet, and that's all some people use the internet for, is complaining about shit.
Just like they were doing with Black Panther and Michael B. Jordan before that came out.
Yeah, to hell with those people. We don't listen to their complaints. We got over 40 characters on screen in one comic book movie. I fucking loved it.
I did too. Yeah. So let's start wrapping things up for the show. If you're familiar with the show, we have a little bit called What I'm Into that we use to wrap things up. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out for yourself. Willie, kick us off. What have you been getting into?
No. Hold on. I'll be right back. Someone else kick it off.
Okay, I'll kick it off, and then Willie will go when he returns. So what have I been getting into? Actually, I was going to go see Infinity War again this weekend. I did not, but we had some friends over last night, played some board games, and played some Jackbox party games last night. I forgot how much I enjoy some of those Jackbox games, especially T-shirt KO. I tweeted 2 of our winning T-shirts on my Twitter account.
I saw one of them.
They're
What was the
pretty
other
great.
one? I saw the Trump one.
The other one was a butterfly that had a green body, and the text below it says, "My butt is green," and it was fantastic. Just how well it meshed up. My butt is green.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that one was enjoyable. Other stuff I've been getting into, I kind of teased it earlier in the show, screwing with those guys. I have been playing, if this loads, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on my Switch. I do know it is a port of a Wii U game, and yes, here it is. Here's your proof. I'm playing it right now.
Nice.
Pretty fun. I hadn't played a Donkey Kong game really since Donkey Kong Country on my Super Nintendo, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. So I did pick this up. It arrived on Friday. I got off of work early on Friday. I was hoping that the Amazon delivery would have come in. No, I got home at like 1:30. Amazon delivery didn't get in until like 7. And I was like, all this time I've lost to play video games. But I did start playing some Donkey Kong. If you play it on full screen, it does actually play at full 1080p when you've got it plugged into your TV. When you're in handheld mode, I think they said it's like 648p basically. So not quite 720p. It's really fun. I've really enjoyed it. I know it's a straight up port of the same game for the Wii U. I'm okay with that. I didn't have a Wii U, so this is my chance to play a Donkey Kong Country game, and it reminds me a lot of Donkey Kong Country, the original one for the Super Nintendo. So if you're a fan of platformers, if you're a fan of Donkey Kong Country and games like that, it's well worth checking out. I don't really anticipate it'll go on sale anytime soon, so if you find a good deal somewhere, go ahead and pick it up for yourself. I'm trying to think what else I've been getting into. I was going to watch some superhero movies last night, didn't really get around to it. Sailor Poland's asking, Tropical Freeze wasn't an HD game to begin with, right? I think for Wii U, it was 720p. Because the Wii U was capable of doing a 720 picture. It's and it is, like I said, it's 1080p when you play docked, so it is upscaled to that. And then when you play in handheld mode, a little less quality. But with a screen the size you have for handheld mode, it doesn't really matter. Final thought on that one, though. If you have a Switch Pro controller, play it with the Pro controller, because the little buttons here now, I'm just going to hold up a Joy-Con for an example. If you have big hands like me, these little buttons suck. And so do the little triggers here. It's okay if you're playing handheld for a while, but for extended periods playing a game, you want the bigger triggers and the bigger buttons that you have on the Pro controller. Because if you've played a Donkey Kong game like this before, you know there's lots of time jumps and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. So make life easy on yourself. Play with the Pro controller if you have it. But that's really what I've been getting into. Willie, you're back. What have you been getting into?
Well, I had to go look and find them because I was supposed to do it beforehand, but I forgot. I have some little cartridges here. If you can tell by the size and the shape, some Game Gear games.
These are not covered in chocolate milk?
No, these are not. Looks like I got Super Columns. I don't even know when the fuck I got that.
Super Columns is awesome.
And I don't even know where this came from. I know I didn't have it as a kid. Tasmania, little Tasmania devil. I don't know where that came from. But these two, I know I did have as a kid and played the hell out of them. Mortal Kombat 2.
Nice.
And X-Men. What's it called? Game Master's Legacy. All for the Game Gear. I know I have some other ones somewhere. Those are my Game Gear collection as of right now. I also found some other games I forgot I had down in that little drawer. Awesome. But what else have I been getting into? Playing the shit out of God of War. I'm still trying to collect everything. I'm going to get a fucking platinum on this game. So happy.
How much more time do you think you need to get to a platinum? I have no idea what the achievements are, but I'm sure there's some ridiculous stuff you have to do.
I think I've already done like the most ridiculous one, which was
that
beat
helps.
Muspelheim, Mucinex, something like that. But
Mucinex? Did you just say Mucinex?
He said Mucinex.
I did.
We are not paid or promoted by Mucinex, but hey, if you guys want to promote us, email us, atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com.
Or hell, just pay me, or just hire me as one of those little germs in the commercials. I'll do that. Oh, hey, honey, I'm home. Oh, I was giving this guy mucus all night long. I can do it. But Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I got because there's just a bunch. I have to go kill all those fucking Odin ravens, which is like little spirit ravens or not. His actual, I forget their fucking names. The two of them that he has, they're like little spirit green ones all around. I have to go kill all those. I got 20 more left, I think. And yeah, so Muspelheim was like the hardest thing.
Huggin and Munnin.
What?
Huggin and Munnin.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever the fuck that was.
The names of Odin's ravens. Huggin and Munnin.
It sounds like you need some Mucinex.
Huggin and Munnin.
Oh, is Boomhauer here?
Oh, how much dang dang do.
I love Boomhauer.
Yeah, who doesn't? But yeah, I think I was so happy that there was not a trophy for the individual difficulty levels, because that would have been painful.
Yeah.
That would have. I was like, nope, this ain't gonna happen. But there is not. I think all I really have to do is get all the collectibles, kill the Valkyries, the Queen Valkyrie. Power up. I already powered up my Blades of Chaos fully. I just need to go to the other area to fully power up my Leviathan X. And once I beat that level, I think that'll be it. I think I'm gonna do. I think we'll save that Queen Valkyrie for last, and the platinum will be mine. I will have fully beaten it.
I have faith in you, Willie. You can
Just
do
like
this.
Just like last year, I fucking got that platinum for Horizon Zero Dawn. That was a fun ass game. If you have not played that and have a PS4, that is a game that you need to play, especially if you like the Zelda type play, open world action RPG. You fight giant robot dinosaurs.
Turok Transformer Hunter.
Exactly. How does that not sound fun to you?
I never said it doesn't sound fun. I just said it's exactly what it looks like.
Oh, and this is also like the fastest selling first party Sony game ever.
Nice.
God of War is.
Well, that's because Spider-Man's not out yet.
Probably.
I don't know if that's going to be able to beat it though, because I mean, Spider-Man, it's gonna be close because that shit's getting a lot of fucking press.
Well, God of War has gotten a lot of press, but also you got to think Homecoming and Avengers. The Tom Holland Spider-Man just got a whole lot of press, and they just released the second suit in the collector's edition is the Iron Spider suit from Avengers.
From the movie Avengers or from the comic?
From the movie Avengers. It's the movie one.
Okay, then. That sounds... Is it so it doesn't have the white spider on it at all?
No, it's the black with the gold outline. Like, it looks exactly like the Avengers suit.
Okay, I'm still curious. Why does he have a white spider? Because they say it's explained in the story.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah, it's just another suit, but yeah, there's an explanation in the game apparently of why he has that specific large white spider suit.
Yeah, so I know you were saying you didn't like the idea of it and all that, Bachman.
It's just not my favorite design, but then again, I mean, when they're instantly coming out the gate with 4 different suits that you can start with, and there's probably going to be 20 more in the game because of Spider-Verse, I'm fine with it. And also, it's on the character that you're not really going to be looking at him from the front most of the time when you're playing anyways, so...
It looks like it's going to be a fun, great game anyway that Chris should get a PS4 for.
That's right.
I'm totally not on it.
Willie, you've also been leading the league this week for the Fantasy Movie League.
I'm still number 1. This might be my first win.
Motherfucking with I Feel Pretty and 3 screens of Rampage, you prick. You took first.
I don't agree with the fucking Amy Schumer bitch. I don't agree with her, but I'll fucking use her to get first place.
And it 4.9 million per each screen.
I mean,
so
you have to think.
Almost 10 million.
I mean, the back to the Venn diagram thing. People who want to see Avengers and people who want to see I Feel Pretty. They probably are not intersecting. So if they're not going to see Avengers, they're probably going to see that because who the fuck wants to see that goddamn Overboard movie? Fuck that piece of shit.
That did better than The Bad Samaritan, which was I put 5 screens in. I figured David Tennant had more fans than Anna Faris, and I was wrong.
I don't even know what the fuck that movie is.
David Tennant's like a serial killer, and the original kid from Misfits, they steal his car at a place where they valet.
Wait. Hold on. The
down.
original kid from Misfits? What do you mean? Nathan?
Yeah, the one who had immortality, who gets fired from... Yeah.
I want to go see this!
The actor that got fired from the show because apparently he was a dick and wanted more money for season 2.
Oh, he got fired? I thought he just didn't go.
Yeah, no, that's why his character went away. Is because apparently the actor wanted more money.
Yeah, well, they should have paid him more money.
He was great, but he wasn't irreplaceable, which they found out very quickly. Because
Yeah, but then that show tanked right after that. I mean, like that third season, I only kept on with it because of Simon. I forget the guy's name from Game of Thrones. Also, Ewan.
Yeah, the one with the crazy name. But yeah, they also introduced the guy who now plays Cassidy on Preacher as Multiple Man on Misfits. He was fantastic.
God, I like Nathan. God, I want to see this movie now just to see him. He was the reason to watch Misfits. Watch the first 2 seasons and continue watching the 3rd season until you get done with it, and just be done with it. Don't watch any more after that.
And for those that don't know, it's on Hulu. And what Misfits is Heroes done correctly in the UK.
I mean, Heroes was, up to that 2nd season.
Well, the writer's strike, but it's the concept idea basically of Heroes, but done extremely well in a much smaller environment.
What the fuck happened to that Irish woman in season 2 of Heroes? She just went to the future. He got sucked back to the present, and she's just what happened to her?
Ignored her. She disappeared.
That's never gonna. Heroes season 2. Tell me.
No resolution. No resolution for you.
But just go back to season 1 though.
And season 1 of Heroes is fantastic.
I mean, I know you're impressed. I'm just pulling out all this shit. It's all right here. I can even bring out the first 3 seasons of Lost. Oh, there we go. But what else I've been getting into? I've rewatched at least 2 or 3 times. It's growing to be one of my favorite movies of last year. Like, it's definitely on that top 5 list. Logan Lucky. That is a great movie. I mean, you got Channing Tatum and Kylo Ren being brothers, trying to steal from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I mean,
I might get to that one at some point. But hey, Anthony, why don't you wrap us up? What are you getting into?
That was perfect for us. It's like a story of us, Chris.
It's the story of us.
They live in West Virginia, but Channing Tatum works, and they're also stealing from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So it's like West Virginia, North Carolina. West Virginia, North Carolina. It's me and you, buddy.
All right. Well, after MoviePass went back and changed things on their website again and brought back their unlimited pass and some talk with Chris, I ordered me a MoviePass. So I'm waiting for that to show up because I'm going to start going to a couple of movies every damn weekend and make that thing pay for itself before they change their mind again. But at least for right now, the unlimited $10 a month, 1 movie a day option is back on MoviePass. So I got that ordered. Picked up a bunch of comics yesterday for Free Comic Book Day, including I grabbed the Power Rangers Shattered Grid one. After Chris talked it up, that does look like a really cool comic. I don't know if I'll add it to my pull list, but if I don't, I'll definitely be getting the trade because the whole Draken storyline of evil Tommy going world to world and killing all the other Rangers it's just a cool idea. And then I was able to get the Amazing Spider-Man Free Comic Book Day from Marvel, which is the first actual published comic of Ryan Otley doing Spider-Man, which is really the only reason I was there in line because that was the one I wanted. And then I
forgot. Free Comic Book Day was yesterday.
Yeah, Free Comic Book Day was yesterday.
I forgot all about it. God damn it!
Yeah, you missed out. And then the Avengers one was good. Sadly, the Avengers one was poorly timed. The Avengers one was a perfect lead-in to the new Avengers #1 comic that came out Wednesday. So if you haven't picked up your new comics yet and you read the Avengers Free Comic Book Day and then read Avengers 1, that's exactly how it's meant to be read. I read them in reverse order because I read them in the way they came out, so that didn't work. It was really weird, because it was Avengers 1 has a lot part of the story of the 1 million BC Avengers, and then the Avengers Free Comic Book Day goes back and tells you a part of that story again. So it was a little confusing. So the free comics were great. Took my buddy, he bought a couple of comics that I won't mention because they're going to be a friend's birthday presents coming up. So we did go and we spent some money and it was fun at Captain. Got some good free comics, and then
rub it in, why don't you?
Hell yeah, it's Free Comic Book Day. I pay attention. Then like I said, I got the PS3 hooked up. I'm going back to my list of games. I restarted Infamous, the original, on a good guy mode on easy, playing through that again, which that's just fun as hell. Restarted a Prototype, which Prototype's a fun game. It's kind of like Infamous, but you got giant claws or giant brick fists. It's just ridiculous running and jumping around a city, just pummeling buildings and giant monsters.
Yeah, they both came out around the same time, and I was more Infamous. I was like, I got money for one of these. I'll
I
get
like Infamous better, but I already owned Infamous and Prototype, and I saw Prototype 2 for $4 at GameStop when I picked up the PS3. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to grab that for $4. So I might as well play back through the first Prototype as well, and then I'll play the second one. Yeah, so now I've got Infamous, Infamous 2, Prototype, Prototype 2, and Red Dead Redemption all to play on my PS3. So yeah, I've got plenty of games to last me for well past when Spider-Man's going to come out, as well as Overwatch. I finished my first season and got silver, so I'm real happy that my ranking last season wasn't too bad. I need to do my ranking matches again for this season. I played some Overwatch with my buddy last night, had some fun. I am enjoying that game. I still, honestly, I think Battleborn was a better game, but it didn't have Blizzard behind it, so that makes a whole lot of difference for a ton of people. And if people ain't playing your game, it's going to go away. That's kind of what happens. And then, yeah, sadly, in the Fantasy Movie League, I bet all my dollars on David Tennant this week, and I'm in 6th place, so I'm sucking. More than likely, I'm not gonna crawl out of last place for this season. So, but that's all right because I don't feel so bad about the Fantasy Movie League because Team Nerd Magic from last month helped me win the Danger Room month, which also locked in 3 monthly wins, giving me 9 points for the season win. For the first season of the Danger Room in the Fantasy Comic League. So I won the first month, I won the first season, and it's my goddamn division, and I am now the reigning champion. Ha-ha! Fucking the Fantasy Comic League is so much fun. We're going into the new season. We've already drafted our new ones. And I believe Chris actually won his season as well. Is that correct? For
I
Midtown?
did. Somehow.
Yeah.
It was a miracle.
Parker is how. Parker. It's all
I
about
only had
Parker.
him for 1 week.
Sometimes that's enough.
Or 1 month, rather.
But yeah, so yeah, I won the season, and yeah, I was lucky enough I was able to draft what did I call them? Team 3 Men and the Little Lady for April. So I have Parker, Miles, Matt Murdock, and Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. And I'm happy to say that I have Miles on my team for the comic that I read yesterday, which almost brought a tear to my eye, I have to be honest. Brian Michael Bendis wrote his last issue of Spider-Man. And so it's what was it? He said, and he wrote a 2-page wrap up in the back of the issue. It was 18 years and hundreds of issues of Spider-Man, from the Ultimate Spider-Man #1 through the death of Peter Parker, the introduction of Miles Morales, and the changeover from Ultimate Spider-Man to Spider-Man and the main Marvel 616. But up until this point, Brian Michael Bendis has been the only person to write Miles Morales. And now with him leaving Marvel and going over to DC, like he gives like a big, like a hearty farewell to the character and all the people that he worked with, and actually flat out blatantly in public states, I want all of these characters to be used in Marvel, and I want people to put them through the ringer because you don't tell interesting stories by being nice to my characters. He's like, fuck with them, give them shit, tell interesting stories with them. So it's going to be cool to see what other writers do with Jessica Jones and Miles Morales, and even in the article, Brian Michael Bendis refers to Gank as Ned. He's like, Gank, Ned, whatever your name is. Because we all knew who that fucking character was in that movie, and it was not Ned Leeds.
No.
He was fucking Gank. But yeah, it was awesome to have Miles drafted on my team, knowing that this is the last month that it's actually Bendis's Miles Morales. So it's going to be crazy to see where they go forward with that character. And then it was a really touching issue because he puts Miles through the event that Bendis went through, I believe it was at the end of last year, where he got an infection and was in the hospital for, I think, like 2 or 3 months. And Bendis actually, I think he said he died 3 times. Or like they had to keep resuscitating him. And he had this crazy ass infection that just kept whooping on him. And in the write-up, it's really cool because he talks about the fact that there's so many writers and artists in the comic industry that live in Portland now, where he's lived for a while. And so like he would, he was passing in and out of consciousness, and like he'd wake up and Matt Fraction would be asleep in a chair in the room waiting for him to wake up. He woke up one time and Michael Avon Oeming and Taki Soma and a couple other guys were having a conversation about something, and they were all so ingrained in their conversation they didn't even realize that Brian had woken up. And like for weeks he was passing in and out of conscious like that. He tells the same type of story with Miles, and it's just fucking heartbreaking. It's such a good comic. Even if you've never read Miles Morales, you've never read anything from Bendis, go pick up the new issue of Spider-Man with Miles on the cover. It is one of the best comics I've ever read. I think that's pretty much everything I've been getting into. Waiting for my movie pass.
All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to wrap us up. You got a little bit of an extended episode this week because it's real tough to talk about Infinity War and not extend the timelines of things.
Yeah.
But that is going to wrap us up. A big thank you to everyone who did join us. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday, live, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on the streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network, geeks.live. Do you guys have any final thoughts as we shut this thing down?
But I don't want to go. I don't feel so good.
Now I'm sad inside because, man.
Go see Avengers again.
Yeah, go see Avengers. You guys will like it. And we will see you all next week. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.